WWE is doing something about their big Liv Morgan mistake. In this video, I'm going to tell you what they're doing, what they did, and how they're fixing it. Because WWE and Liv Morgan are on a very interesting course, and it's a course in which Liv Morgan supporters and fans like me are looking very into. We're watching it very closely. And then the haters, on the other hand, are just waiting for the shoe to drop and to tell everybody that they were wrong. It's an interesting time because in 2023, Liv Morgan was sidelined for the majority of the year, but 2024 was poised to be the year of Liv Morgan. And you know what? It's kind of shaping up to be that. And oh, how things have changed. They've changed in a big way. Because Liv Morgan, she returned at the Women's Royal Rumble match in January of 2024, and she made it very clear after a very interesting showing that it was going to be the revenge tour of Liv Morgan in 2024. And ironically, that tour, well, it took a little bit of a detour because after the Royal Rumble, at WWE, well, they took their time with Liv Morgan. Why did they do that? Well, it wasn't a lack of confidence in Liv Morgan. No, in fact, it was because they had a little bit of different plans before they had to get to Liv Morgan. What were those plans? Well, fast forward to WrestleMania 40, we have Becky Lynch, who won the Women's Elimination Chamber match. She earned the right to challenge Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title. Fast forward to WrestleMania 40, a big showdown. Becky Lynch competing with a fever, competing with strep throat. Well, she came up short when challenging Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title. All right, I thought it was a mistake at the time, but oh, how things have worked out. Because originally, it was going to be Liv Morgan stepping up, challenging Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title coming out of WrestleMania, going into the likes of Backlash, perhaps Saudi Arabia, with the King and Queen PLE. Well, things changed because in a backstage segment, as we know, Liv Morgan, well, she injured Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is on the sideline. She had to vacate the Women's World title due to an AC joint sprain in her shoulder. And so now we've pivoted to Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. And that leads me to today's video because Liv Morgan, well, she was screwed over a few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw in a Battle Royale. I thought it was very clear-cut. Should have just got to the freaking point, but it's WWE and they like to kind of zig and zag every once in a while because instead of just keeping Becky Lynch off of television and putting the championship on Liv Morgan, well, they went in a different way. They brought back Becky Lynch, who was slated to take time off after WrestleMania and go on vacation alongside her husband, Seth Rollins, who is currently sidelined after getting surgery. So, Becky is the champion. Now, that leads us to today's video. That leads us to the big mistake that WWE made and how they're fixing it, because it was reported that Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, well, it was going to be a one-off program, but because Rhea got injured, things have kind of changed. The mistake that WWE made was putting the championship on Becky Lynch. But on Monday Night Raw this week, what did WWE do? Well, they announced that Becky Lynch is slated to challenge the Women's World title, is slated to defend the Women's World title against Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring PLE in Saudi Arabia in May. Later this month, we are finally going to get it. We are finally going to get the big moment that Liv Morgan steps into the ring with Becky Lynch once again with the title on the line. Now, I will admit to you this. While yes, WWE, they have finally fixed their mistake, I don't expect Liv Morgan to win the championship in Saudi Arabia. I just don't. And I'll tell you for two reasons. One, I find it hard to believe that they're going to do a title change with a women's title in Saudi Arabia. I don't see it. I don't see it. Not with Money in the Bank coming up. Okay? Second of all, I don't think they're going to do a flip-flop championship change right out of the gate. Considering Becky Lynch just won the women's championship, and considering the momentum that Becky Lynch has as a babyface and the rise of Liv Morgan as a heel right now, I mean, my social interactions are off the charts with Liv Morgan right now. She is on fire. So I think it would be a mistake on WWE's part, admittedly, to do a title change so quickly. I don't think you should do that. I think, why not give this feud, give these two women something that they can sink their teeth into. Let's get some meat off this bone instead of just doing a one-off. Why? There's no reason to. We know where we're going. We know Liv Morgan is going to win the championship. She's going to get her moment. As long as we get to that spot, that's fine. Now, coming out of the Battle Royale, I and a lot of people thought it was a mistake because it was such a layup that WWE just whiffed on it, right? Okay, well, now they've pivoted. Now they've changed their minds. Now they fixed their problems, and we're going to get to the conclusion in which we want. So, Saudi Arabia, what do? Well, there's a few different ways you can do this. In no circumstances is there going to be a clean finish in this match. I hope they don't necessarily pin Liv Morgan, but this is what I think will happen. I think there will be some type of squash finish. I think a double countout or a countout would be a little bit lame. This is what I'm projecting. This is what I'm predicting. This is what I think is going to happen. Let me know down in the comments here below whether or not you agree with me on this, but I think either one of these things is going to happen. We're going to have Liv Morgan just go crazy and get herself DQ'd, okay? Or, and I think this is the most likely scenario, I think we're going to have a Becky Lynch who snaps, because what is Morgan doing right now on television? What is she doing on social media when it comes to Becky Lynch, when it comes to Rhea Ripley? She's trying to get under the skin of people. She doesn't want to just win the championship. She wants to get her revenge on people. She wants them to kind of lose their minds a little bit. She wants to get into their heads and psych them out a little bit. So if you can do it where you get Becky really riled up and gets herself DQ, well, not only does it set up a rematch, not only does it set up a scenario in which Morgan is still hot and still doesn't lose any momentum, you don't beat her or anything like that, she's still a worthy challenger, etc. But it also leads to the rematch in which you can have a stipulation in which you can have Liv Morgan win because of a stipulation. Let's say it's a street fight, okay? They have a street fight. Then it gives Becky an out of, okay, she was a fighting champion, but Liv just stole it in a gimmick match kind of thing. And then you can do a trilogy if you wanted to after that. That's how I think WWE is going with this. Either way, however they get there, they're doing the right thing by Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan fans should be appreciative that they're doing just that.